Welcome back to United View. Today we've seen the news, everybody's seen the news regarding the passing of Sir Bobby Charlton, a true icon of Manchester United, a true icon of football, regarded as many by the greatest player that England has ever seen. And there's not many players that are sort of cemented within the DNA and the fabric and the foundations of a football club. Many great players come and go. Many great players come, score goals, leave, and their legacy's strong and their legacy's remembered. But like I said, it's a different situation to be in part of the very foundations upon our club was built. You think back to the Busby Babes and the journey that a young Sir Bobby Charlton had with the Busby Babes, with Sir Matt, surviving that air disaster in 1958 in Munich, and being part of helping rebuild that team, to be a linchpin. He was only 20 years old when he survived that plane crash with many of his teammates no longer there, United staff no longer there. Matt Busby having to, recover with Jimmy Murphy taking over the football club. A lot was placed on the talents and the type of man that Sir Bobby was. A lot was placed on him to be the linchpin from the players' side to help rebuild Manchester United to what we know it is today. And he did it. He was, he was the captain in the 1968 final when we were the first English team to lift the European Cup 10 years after the Munich disaster. And for some of the younger fans, and I'm kind of in this as well as a lot of us who didn't have the pleasure in being old enough to watch Sir Bobby do this. It's obviously all in retrospect and making sure you read and watch videos and learn about our legends. And when you see people if you don't quite remember, he was our record goal scorer until Wayne Rooney overtook him in 2017. He was our record goal scorer for over 40 years. He was our record appearance maker until the Champions League final when Ryan Giggs surpassed him. These are long, upstanding records for a true legend. And if you want to talk on the international stage in terms of, for England, lifting the World Cup with England, being part of that amazing squad that brought football home in 1966, and we haven't managed to do so since. He's just a phenomenal person, a phenomenal player, and the impact that he's had even after his playing career. Those that have been to Old Trafford, or even if you haven't, I'm sure you're very well aware of our two, massive stands. Obviously the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, but right adjacent to that on the other side of the pitch where the dugout is and the managers and players sit is the Sir Bobby Charlton stand. Is the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, and it's there for a reason, because without Sir Bobby Charlton, I'm not going to say there is no Manchester United, but a large part of how Manchester United is now just simply wouldn't be there. And like I said, for a lot of our younger viewers, it is difficult. Because you may not have recollection of these players, and you maybe the name, but you don't exactly know the history behind the player. And there's so much more about Sir Bobby that even I, as well as a Manchester United fan, I'm gonna read more, find out more, because he is a true icon of English football, and it's a dear loss to our football club today. A real somber moment. So much goes on at the football club in the day-to-day run-ins of it, and the reason why, not doing well on the pitch and things at board level and things like that we get upset about at the club stem from a lot of things. And when somebody as iconic as Sir Bobby Charlton passes, it puts everything into perspective about what's important and what Manchester United is, what a family Manchester United is, what Manchester United stands for. And where it feels like we've come away from that a little bit, it's days like this that we remember, that we rejoice. And our thoughts and prayers are with Sir Bobby's family and friends and everybody at the club, and fans and football fans, like I said, around the world, because like I said, players come and go all the time through clubs, come and score goals, win trophies, and get legendary status. But then there's a tier above that. You're looking at that trinity, You know, that United Trinity that sits outside the megastore on the concourse. You know, Best, Law, Charlton, you know, Busby, Sir Alex. There's not many people / players who will be ingrained, like I said, in Manchester United's history forever. We have a lot of legend at our club, loads of legends, because of how successful our club's been and to what people have contributed. Players have contributed both on and off the pitch to our club in terms of winning things, in terms of doing things outside of football. However, like I said, there are very, very few like Sir Bobby Charlton. So an incredibly sad day. And at the same time, though, it should be a time for, you know, rejoice, and time for remembering, you know, just how good of a player and how important of a figure Sir Bobby was at our football club. And that's what I would encourage anybody to do. You guys watching this, share this with your kids. If you've got kids or younger United fans that you know who have just heard the name, you don't quite know, you know, what exactly Bobby Charlton did do at our football club, some of the records he broke for club and country, you know, what happened when he had to help rebuild our football club. You know, so many things that we all need to be aware of, and we all need to make sure that we're passing it on to the next generation, not just when players are not here anymore. But of course, with what's happened today, it's even more of a reminder to make sure that, you know, each one teach one, as they say. And Bobby Charlton, huge legend of the football club. A sad day, and I'm sure the players will remember him in the kickoff later on today at Sheffield United. And of course, our first home game back, I'll be under the lights at Old Trafford on Tuesday night, I think, against Copenhagen. I'll be back for that. But yeah, please join the online tributes for fans around the world in remembering a true great of our football club, Sir Bobby Charlton. Rest in peace.